Across the vast continent of Africa, wild places stretch to the horizon, pulsing with the ancient rhythms of life and death. Here, the land itself seems to breathe, its every sunrise and sunset marking the passage of countless generations of creatures, locked in a timeless struggle for survival. These are the grand arenas where nature's most dramatic stories unfold, where every blade of grass, every shadow, and every gust of wind can mean the difference between life and death. Two of the most magnificent stages in this epic are Etosha National Park in Namibia and the Masai Mara in Kenya. Each is a world of breathtaking beauty and immense challenge, where the rules of existence are written by the land and the sky. In Namibia, Etosha is defined by its colossal salt pan, a vast ghostly expanse so immense it can be seen from space. Under the relentless sun, the pan shimmers like a mirage, its cracked earth a testament to the harshness of the dry season. Here, water is the most precious currency. As the land dries and the air grows heavy with heat, life converges at the few remaining waterholes. Elephants, antelope, and birds gather in uneasy truce, each aware that a single misstep could draw the attention of a lurking predator. In contrast, the Masai Mara is a land of rolling grasslands, dotted with acacia trees and alive with the thunder of hooves. It is a place of abundance, where the Great Migration transforms the plains into a living river of wildebeest and zebra, each animal driven by an ancient instinct to move, to survive. These two parks, though different in character, share a common thread. They are sanctuaries where the raw power of nature is on full display. Every animal, from the smallest insect to the mightiest elephant, is shaped by the relentless demands of survival. Over millions of years, the creatures of these lands have evolved extraordinary adaptations. Some, like the lion, rely on strength and teamwork, stalking the grasslands with silent precision. Others, like the antelope, depend on speed and vigilance, their senses honed to detect the faintest hint of danger. Camouflage, cunning, and cooperation are the tools of survival. A leopard melts into the dappled shadows, while a pride of lions works together to bring down prey. The young watch and learn, their every step a lesson in the unforgiving school of the wild. For the newborn, life is a gauntlet of challenges. Under the watchful eyes of their mothers, they take their first steps, play, and grow, each day a victory against the odds. The journey from birth to adulthood is fraught with peril, but it is also filled with moments of wonder and discovery. The climate itself is a formidable force. In Etosha, storms gather and break, bringing life-giving rain that transforms the salt pan into a shimmering lake. In the Mara, the arrival of the rains signals a time of renewal, as grasses grow tall and herds swell in number. Every day, the animals of these arenas face new trials. Predators on the hunt, storms that sweep across the plains, and the ever-present challenge of finding food and water. Yet in the face of adversity, life endures. The resilience and ingenuity of these creatures are a testament to the power of nature's grand design. This is a journey into the heart of the wild, a celebration of survival, adaptation, and the breathtaking beauty of life's eternal contest. In these grand arenas, every sunrise is a new beginning, every sunset a hard-won triumph, and every creature a living story of endurance and hope. Etosha National Park is a land of extreme contrasts, where the relentless cycle of wet and dry seasons shapes every heartbeat and every breath. Here, the landscape itself is a test of endurance, a vast, shimmering expanse where the horizon blurs beneath a merciless sun and the ground cracks open in thirst. For much of the year, from May to October, the dry season holds the park in its grip. The lush greenery of the brief wet season vanishes, leaving behind a parched, dusty landscape. Rivers shrink to memory, and the air shimmers with heat. Every living creature, from the smallest insect to the largest elephant, is drawn into a daily struggle for survival. Natural water sources evaporate under the heat, forcing all life to make a desperate pilgrimage to the few remaining waterholes. These oases become crowded, tense arenas where the drama of life and death plays out in full view. Thirsty herds gather, their young pressed close for safety, while predators lurk in the shadows, waiting for the weak and unwary. The year 2024 brought a particularly brutal challenge to Namibia. The country faced its most severe drought in over a century, pushing the already strained ecosystem of Etosha to its absolute limit. Waterholes that had sustained life for decades disappeared completely, turning into treacherous mud traps that could claim the lives of the desperate. The great herds of zebras, wildebeest, and impalas grew weak from thirst and hunger, their ribs showing through dusty hides. Baby animals, still unsteady on their legs, struggled to keep up with their mothers. For them, every step toward water was a gamble, each muddy bank a potential trap, each shadow a possible threat. Lions and hyenas, ever watchful, stalked to the edges, their eyes fixed on the smallest and slowest. The very fabric of life in the park seemed to be tearing apart. But then, as 2025 began, the skies finally opened. The first raindrops fell like a promise, darkening the dust and sending the scent of hope across the plains. The long-awaited rains returned, transforming the dusty earth into a carpet of green and replenishing the life-giving waterholes. Herds gathered in celebration, newborns leaping and stumbling in the fresh grass, their survival no longer a daily question. Within this vast park, certain places become critical refuges. Ocauquejo, with its illuminated waterhole, is a beacon in the darkness. Here, the night belongs to the animals. No human presence disturbs the silent procession, only the soft padding of hooves and the gentle slosh of water. Elephants emerge from the darkness like grey ghosts, their calves huddled close, trunks entwined in reassurance. Black rhinos, ancient and cautious, step into the light, their forms silhouetted against the water. Predators prowl the periphery, eyes glinting, waiting for a moment of weakness among the young or the frail. It is a place of quiet tension, where different species tolerate each other's presence out of a shared, desperate need for water. At Halali, dense vegetation offers cover for elusive predators. Leopards slip through the shadows, their movements silent and unseen, while baby antelope and zebra drink nervously, every muscle tensed for flight. Survival here demands incredible adaptations. The gemsbok, or oryx, Namibia's national animal, is a master of this harsh environment. Calves are born with the ability to stand within minutes, their instincts honed for the dangers that surround them. Mothers lead their young to shade, teaching them to conserve energy and avoid the midday sun. The oryx can survive for weeks without drinking, its body capable of tolerating internal temperatures that would be fatal for most other mammals. A special network of blood vessels in its nose acts like a radiator, cooling its blood before it reaches the brain. Young oryx learn to forage for roots and tubers, drawing moisture from the earth itself. This remarkable adaptation allows the oryx to thrive where others would perish. In the great white place of Etosha, every animal, predator and prey, adult and newborn, must find its own way to survive. Each day is a new chapter in the ancient story of resilience, written in dust, water, and the will to live. The African elephant, the largest land animal on Earth, is a true titan of the savannah. Towering above the grasslands, these gentle giants move with surprising grace, their massive forms casting long shadows across the plains. In Etosha, elephants live in tightly knit matriarchal herds, led by the oldest and most experienced female. The matriarch is the heart of the group, guiding her family through the ever-changing landscape. She remembers the locations of hidden waterholes, the safest paths through the bush and the best feeding grounds, knowledge passed down through generations. Elephants are renowned for their complex social bonds and remarkable communication skills. They greet each other with gentle trunk touches and low rumbles, forming deep connections within the herd. Their most extraordinary ability is to communicate over vast distances using infrasound, deep rumbling calls that travel for miles, undetectable to human ears. These infrasound vibrations travel through the ground, sensed by other elephants through their sensitive feet. This long-distance messaging system allows herds to coordinate movements, warn of danger, and maintain contact even when separated by great distances. Sharing these vast plains is another giant, the black rhino. With its thick, rugged skin and formidable horn, the black rhino is a solitary browser, often seen moving alone through the bush. Despite its size and power, the black rhino is cautious and quick to react, relying on a keen sense of smell and acute hearing to detect threats as its eyesight is poor. Black rhinos use communal dung piles, known as middens, as a kind of social bulletin board. By sniffing these piles, a rhino can learn about the age, sex, and reproductive state of others that have passed by, allowing them to communicate and avoid unnecessary confrontations. The black rhino's solitary nature means encounters with others are rare and often tense. When two males meet, they may engage in ritualized displays, circling and posturing, sometimes escalating to fierce clashes if neither backs down. Black rhinos are browsers, using their pointed prehensile upper lip to skillfully grasp leaves and twigs from bushes. This specialized feeding habit shapes the vegetation of the savanna, as rhinos prune shrubs and encourage new growth, playing a vital role in the ecosystem. Unlike their larger cousins, the white rhinos, which graze on grasses with their wide, flat mouths, black rhinos are adapted for browsing. Their diet makes them vulnerable during droughts, when leaves and shrubs become scarce, forcing them to travel farther in search of food. Both elephants and rhinos face immense challenges in their daily lives. Drought, competition for resources, and the ever-present threat of predators test their resilience. Calves are especially vulnerable, and herds must remain vigilant, forming protective circles around their young when danger is near. In the dry season, water becomes a precious resource. Elephants, with their remarkable memory, lead their herds across great distances to find the last remaining water holes. Rhinos, more solitary, must navigate the parched landscape alone, relying on their senses to locate water. At these water holes, the drama of survival unfolds. Elephant herds approach cautiously, calves shielded by adults, while rhinos wait for their turn, often drinking under the cover of darkness. Predators such as lions and hyenas lurk nearby, ever watchful for an opportunity, but the sheer size and strength of adult elephants and rhinos make them formidable opponents. Only the youngest or weakest risk falling prey. When threatened, elephants rally together, trumpeting and charging as a united front, while rhinos rely on their speed and aggression to deter would-be attackers. These defensive behaviors are crucial for the survival of their young, ensuring the next generation can grow and thrive. The continued existence of these iconic species is a testament to their adaptability and the intricate balance of the savanna. Their lives are woven into the fabric of the ecosystem, shaping the land and supporting countless other creatures. The sight of elephants and rhinos moving across the plains, enduring hardship and overcoming adversity, is a powerful reminder of the resilience and majesty of Africa's giants. In the unforgiving expanse of Etosha, every sunrise marks the beginning of a new contest, a relentless struggle for survival where predator and prey are locked in a silent, ancient duel. Here, the rules are written in instinct, and every creature must master the art of either ambush or endurance to survive another day. Among the most formidable endurance hunters is the spotted hyena. With eyes fixed on the horizon and nostrils flaring for the scent of opportunity, the hyena is always on the move, its senses tuned to the faintest sign of weakness in the herds. When the chase begins, the hyena's true power is revealed. Unlike the ambush predators that rely on surprise, hyenas are built for the long pursuit. They can run for miles. their stamina outlasting all but the strongest of prey. The hunt is a test of endurance, a battle of willpower and resilience. In the heart of the clan, strategy is everything. Each member knows its role, and together they coordinate with uncanny precision, encircling their quarry and wearing it down until exhaustion claims it. When the hunt is over, the hyena's jaws, nature's own bone-crushing machines, make short work of even the toughest remains. No scrap is wasted. Every morsel is claimed. Every bone cracked open for the precious marrow within. Their eerie laughter echoes across the plains, a chorus of triumph and communication. Each cackle and whoop carries meaning, signals of rank, excitement, and the thrill of the hunt. But as dusk falls, the shadows come alive with another kind of hunter. The leopard, a phantom cloaked in dappled gold, moves with silent purpose through the undergrowth. The leopard is the master of ambush. It waits, motionless, every muscle coiled, every whisker twitching in anticipation. Patience is its greatest weapon, and it can remain hidden for hours, invisible to all but the most vigilant eyes. Its spotted coat is a living shadow, breaking up its outline and allowing it to vanish into the shifting patterns of light and leaf. Prey may graze just feet away, unaware of the danger lurking in the grass. Then, in a heartbeat, the ambush is sprung. The leopard explodes from cover, closing the distance in a blur of muscle and claws. The element of surprise is total, and the outcome is often decided in seconds. With its prize secured, the leopard's strength is on full display. It drags its kill skyward, defying gravity and rivals alike, ensuring its meal remains safe from the ever-watchful eyes below. High in the treetops, the leopard feasts in solitude, the branches swaying gently beneath its weight. Here, it can savor its victory, undisturbed, while the world below continues its restless cycle. Above it all, the lappet-faced vulture rides the thermals, its keen eyes scanning for the telltale signs of a recent kill. It is the sentinel of the sky, drawn to the drama unfolding on the plains. With wings nearly 10 feet across, the vulture glides effortlessly, a silent overseer of life and death. Its arrival signals the final act in the savannah's cycle. Where others see only remains, the vulture sees opportunity. Its powerful beak tears through hide and sinew, opening the feast for a host of lesser scavengers. Its bare, blood-stained head is a badge of adaptation, allowing it to plunge deep into carcasses without hindrance. Every meal, a testament to its role as nature's ultimate cleaner. The vulture's iron stomach digests what would kill others, rotting flesh laced with deadly bacteria. In this way, it purifies the land, ensuring that disease does not take root. Together, these masters of ambush and endurance shape the fate of Etosha. Each has its own strategy, its own moment to strike, and its own place in the endless cycle of life and death. The herds remain ever vigilant, senses sharpened by generations of survival. Only the swiftest, the strongest, and the most cunning will escape the gauntlet of predators that stalk the plains. Every chase, every ambush, every scavenged meal is a thread in the tapestry of Etosha. Hyenas run down the weak, leopards strike from the shadows, and vultures erase the traces, leaving the land renewed. The drama of predator and prey is never-ending, a dance of cunning and endurance, of patience and power, played out beneath the vast African sky. In this wild theatre, every creature is both hunter and hunted, and survival belongs to those who master the art of ambush or the test of endurance. This is Etosha, where the struggle for life is as beautiful as it is brutal. Far to the east of Etosha, in the vast untamed grasslands of the Serengeti Mara ecosystem, one of the world's most breathtaking natural spectacles unfolds, untouched by human hands, shaped only by the rhythm of nature. This is the Great Migration, an endless, circular journey undertaken by over 1 million wildebeest accompanied by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles. Among them, countless newborns take their first steps into a world filled with both promise and peril. This colossal movement is not a random wandering, it's a relentless quest for survival, driven by the most fundamental needs: fresh grazing and life-giving water. For the youngest, every day is a test of instinct and endurance. The migration follows the rains, the promise of renewal. The scent of distant storms calls the herds onward, and with them, the fragile lives of baby animals are swept into the journey. As the dry season tightens its grip on one part of the ecosystem, the herds move on, instinctively following the thunder and the hope of green pastures. The calves and foals, barely days or weeks old, must keep pace or be left behind. The journey covers an immense distance of over 500 miles each year, a circular route between Tanzania's Serengeti in the south and Kenya's Masai Mara in the north. For the youngest, every step is a battle against exhaustion and the unknown. The zebras often lead the way, their sharp eyes and keen senses guiding the herds through the ever-changing landscape. Foals, pressed close to their mothers, learn to read the signals of the adults, their survival instincts awakening with every stride. Zebras prefer the long, tough grasses, exposing the shorter, more nutritious blades for the wildebeest that follow. This cooperation ensures that even the youngest grazers find food, their tiny muzzles nibbling at the freshest shoots. This cooperative grazing allows different species and their vulnerable young to thrive together on the same plains, each one playing a part in the delicate balance of life. The constant movement of the herds is crucial for the health of the grasslands. As they graze and trample, the youngest learn to move with the group, their tiny hooves shaping the land as much as any adult. Their passage prevents any single area from being overexploited, and in their wake, new life springs forth, fresh shoots for the next generation of grazers. For wildebeest, survival begins with synchronized birthing. Mothers give birth almost simultaneously, flooding the plains with new life. In a remarkable feat of timing, around 500,000 calves are born over just a few weeks, usually in the southern Serengeti. The air is filled with the bleats of newborns, each one a tiny miracle. This is predator swamping, a strategy where sheer numbers overwhelm the predators. The calves, huddled together, find safety in the crowd. Lions, cheetahs, and hyenas lurk in the tall grass, their eyes fixed on the vulnerable young. For every newborn, the threat is ever present, yet the sheer abundance of calves means most will survive. The predators cannot catch them all, and the odds tip in favor of the herd's future. Wildebeest calves are born ready to run. Within minutes they struggle to their feet, their legs trembling but determined. By the end of their first day, they can keep up with the herd, their instincts guiding them to stay close, to move as one. The journey is fraught with peril. The herds must cross rocky outcrops, parched earth, and tangled thickets. For the youngest, every obstacle is a new challenge. Predators stalk the edges, waiting for a moment of weakness. The young, the old, and the weak are always at risk, and only the most alert and resilient survive. Rivers present some of the greatest dangers. The herds must brave strong currents and slippery banks. Calves and foals, swept along by the crowd, must summon every ounce of courage to reach the far side. Yet the instinct to move is too powerful to ignore. Even the smallest, driven by an ancient urge, press on through exhaustion and fear. This primal rhythm has echoed across the plains for thousands of years. Each new generation of calves and foals learns the path, their journey woven into the fabric of the land. The Great Migration is more than just a movement of animals. It is the lifeblood of the Serengeti Mara ecosystem, a living river that nourishes all who depend on it. For the baby animals born into this world, every step is a testament to survival, every heartbeat a victory. The pulsing, moving river of life shapes the destiny of all who call these wild plains home. In the wild, every day is a test of courage, but for the youngest and most vulnerable, the The stakes are unimaginably high. The most dramatic and perilous chapter of the Great Migration is the crossing of the Mara River, a gauntlet where the courage of baby animals is pushed to its absolute limit. This formidable waterway carves its way through the heart of Africa, a swirling, muddy barrier that stands between the herds and the promise of life-giving grass. For the calves, barely months old, the river is a monstrous challenge, its steep, slippery banks and churning currents a world away from the safety of the open plains. At the water's edge, the herd hesitates. Mothers nudge their trembling calves forward, their instincts warring with fear. Suddenly the pressure from thousands behind becomes too great. A single brave calf, swept by the current of bodies, leaps into the unknown. In an instant the river explodes into chaos, legs thrashing, water churning, desperate cries echoing across the banks. But the river is not just a physical barrier. Beneath its murky surface, ancient predators lie in wait. Nile crocodiles, silent, motionless and patient, have watched the river for days, their yellow eyes fixed on the smallest, weakest swimmers. As the calves struggle through the current, the crocodiles strike with terrifying speed. A tiny wildebeest separated from its mother is seized in a flash of jaws and foam. The death roll begins, a desperate spinning battle beneath the surface. For some, the river becomes a watery grave. For those who escape the crocodiles, the ordeal is far from over. Exhausted calves, battered by the current, must claw their way up the treacherous banks. Some slip, breaking legs or collapsing in the mud. On the far side, new dangers await. Lions and hyenas, drawn by the chaos, prowl the river's edge, eyes locked on the stragglers. The river crossing is a brutal filter, separating the strong from the weak, the lucky from the lost. For every calf that collapses, another finds the strength to rise, driven by the unbreakable bond with its mother and the promise of survival. Many calves are swept away by the current, their cries lost in the roar of the river. Others are trampled in the panic, their tiny bodies no match for the desperate stampede of hooves. Yet, for every tragedy, there is triumph. Against all odds, hundreds of calves emerge on the far bank, muddy, exhausted, but alive. Their courage, tested in the crucible of the river, has earned them another day. The promise of the Masai Mara's green grass is a call that cannot be ignored. The journey continues, the herd moving onward, each survivor a testament to the raw courage demanded by the wild. In this world, courage is not a choice but a necessity. For every baby animal, every predator, every moment is a test, a relentless, awe-inspiring struggle for survival, written in the currents of the Mara and the pounding of tiny hooves on African soil. The Masai Mara stretches endlessly beneath the African sun, a living tapestry where predator and prey are locked in an ancient struggle. Here the grasslands pulse with life, and danger lurks at every turn for the youngest and most vulnerable. At the very top of this wild hierarchy stands the lion, the only truly social big cat. His mane glows in the golden light, a symbol of power and dominance. Lions live in tightly knit prides, extended families bound by blood and survival. Within these groups, every member has a role, and the fate of the pride's cubs depends on the strength of their unity. The lionesses, silent and focused, are the pride's hunters. They move as one, using the tall grass as cover, circling herds of wildebeest and zebra. With a sudden burst of speed, they launch their attack. Timing and teamwork are everything. For the baby antelope or zebra, a moment's hesitation can mean the end. As dusk falls, the pride's roars echo across the plains, a chorus that warns rivals to stay away. These roars are more than a show of strength. They are a shield, protecting the pride's territory and the precious cubs hidden in the grass. Beyond the open plains, the shadows of the woodlands conceal another master hunter, the leopard. Elusive and solitary, the leopard is a phantom, rarely seen but always present. With unmatched stealth, the leopard glides through the undergrowth, its spotted coat blending perfectly with the dappled light. It waits, motionless, for the perfect moment to strike. For a baby impala hidden in the brush, the leopard is a silent, deadly threat. Adaptable and opportunistic, the leopard's diet is as varied as the mara itself. From impalas and warthogs to birds and rodents, nothing is off limits. Even the smallest creatures must be wary. After a successful hunt, the leopard's immense strength is revealed. It drags its kill high into the branches, out of reach of scavengers. Here a mother leopard can feed her cubs in safety, teaching them the skills they'll need to survive. In the treetops, the leopard feasts undisturbed for days, a solitary banquet in a world where every meal is hard-won and fiercely protected. But the Mara's rivers and waterholes are ruled by even older predators. Here, the drama of survival unfolds at the water's edge, where thirst draws the young and unwary into the jaws of danger. The Nile crocodile, armored and ancient, lies motionless beneath the surface. Only its eyes betray its presence, watching, waiting for the perfect moment. With explosive power, the crocodile erupts from the water, jaws snapping shut on anything that ventures too close. For a baby wildebeest crossing the river, the crocodile is a nightmare from which few escape. Once it has its prey, the crocodile drags it beneath the surface, wedging the carcass under a log or rock. Here the meal softens, ready to be consumed over days. A grim larder in the murky depths. Sharing these waters is the hippopotamus, a giant whose bulk belies its speed and aggression. Though it feeds on grass, the hippo is fiercely territorial. Any young animal, or even a predator that strays too close, risks a deadly charge. The presence of these formidable hunters shapes every moment of life on the savannah. For baby animals, survival is a daily test, their instincts sharpened by the ever-present threat of predation. Herds move with constant vigilance, mothers guiding their young, always alert for the flicker of movement in the grass or the ripple of water that signals danger. The relentless pressure from predators drives evolution itself, ensuring that only the swiftest, cleverest, and luckiest of the young survive to adulthood. Even the cheetah, the fastest animal on land, faces constant challenges. Its hard-won kills are often stolen by lions or hyenas, forcing cheetah mothers to teach their cubs the art of caution and speed. In the Masai Mara, every sunrise brings new hope and new peril. From the coordinated hunts of lionesses to the silent ambushes of leopards and crocodiles, the fate of every baby animal hangs in the balance. This is the wild heart of Africa, a place where survival is never guaranteed, and every life is shaped by the power and cunning of its predators. Thousands of miles from the savannas of Africa, nestled high in the Andes Mountains of South America, lies a completely different yet equally spectacular world, the cloud forests of Colombia. This is one of the most biodiverse ecosystems on Earth, a realm of perpetual mist and vibrant green. Found at altitudes between 1,200 and 3,000 meters, these forests are constantly bathed in fog that drifts up from the lowlands. This moisture nourishes an incredible array of plant life, from towering trees draped in mosses and orchids to a lush undergrowth of ferns. These forests are the birthplaces of great rivers, their dense vegetation acting as a giant sponge that captures and slowly releases water. The animals that live here are as unique as the landscape itself. The Andean condor, one of the world's largest flying birds, soars on thermal updrafts high above the mountain peaks. It is primarily a scavenger, playing a similar role to the vultures of Africa by cleaning the environment of carcasses. Its massive wingspan allows it to glide for hours with hardly a flap, effortlessly surveying its vast mountain domain. Sadly, this magnificent bird is now near threatened, facing challenges from habitat loss and human persecution, making its protection a high priority in the region. Deeper within the forest, the vibrant colors of the Andean cock of the rock flash through the misty undergrowth. The male of this species is famous for its dazzlingly bright red-orange plumage and its elaborate mating rituals. Groups of males gather at specific display sites known as leks, where they perform noisy, energetic dances to attract the attention of the much more plainly colored females. The forest is also alive with the frantic energy of hummingbirds. Colombia boasts the highest diversity of these tiny iridescent birds in the world, with over 147 species, each with a specialized beak perfectly adapted to feed from a particular type of flower. Life in the cloud forest canopy is also rich and varied. Troops of woolly monkeys and red howler monkeys travel through the treetops, their calls echoing through the mist. The woolly monkey uses its long prehensile tail as a fifth limb, allowing it to navigate the complex network of branches with incredible agility as it forages for fruit and leaves. These mountain cloud forests are a world away from the open plains of Africa, but they share a similar story of incredible adaptation and fragile beauty. They are unique and irreplaceable treasures, home to species found nowhere else on Earth, and their survival depends on our ability to protect them from deforestation and climate change. Across the vast plains of Etosha, the golden savannas of the Masai Mara, and the mist-shrouded cloud forests of Colombia, the wild endures. These are places where the story of life is written anew each day, where every sunrise brings a fresh chapter of survival, adaptation, and hope. Here, a wildebeest calf rises on trembling legs, its first moments a race against time and predators. In the high forests, a hummingbird hovers, its wings a blur of determination as it seeks the nectar that fuels its impossible journey. Each animal, from the smallest insect to the mightiest predator, is a testament to the ingenuity of evolution. The wild is a stage for timeless drama. Predator and prey locked in a dance as old as the land itself. Seasons of abundance give way to times of hardship, as drought cracks the earth and rivers run dry. Yet even in the harshest moments, life finds a way to persist. Animals adapt with astonishing resilience. Herds travel vast distances in search of water, guided by ancient instincts. When the rains finally return, the transformation is miraculous. Grasslands burst into green, waterholes brim with life, and the air fills with the calls of the wild reborn. The cycle of life begins anew. Newborns take their first steps under the watchful eyes of their mothers. Herds gather at dawn, and the next generation learns the ways of the wild. Each birth is a promise, a spark of hope for the future. The wild is a web of connections, each species playing a vital role in the balance of nature. The loss of one thread can ripple through the entire tapestry, but the strength of this web lies in its diversity and adaptability. Even endangered species, given the chance, can reclaim their place in the world. As the sun sets over the wild, herds move in silhouette across the horizon, and the air is alive with the sounds of survival. The future of the wild is unwritten, but it is filled with possibility. The animals of Etosha, the Masai Mara, and the cloud forests remind us that hope endures wherever life persists. In every corner of the wilderness, adaptation is the key to survival. Elephants remember ancient paths to water, lions teach their cubs the art of the hunt, and birds navigate by the stars. These stories are not just about survival, they are about the triumph of life against all odds. The wild is resilient, ever-changing, and full of wonder. Its future is a testament to the power of adaptation and the enduring spirit of life. As long as the sun rises and the rains return, the wild will continue to inspire awe and hope for generations yet to come. As daylight fades and the world slips into twilight, a different story of survival quietly unfolds. In the velvet darkness, the youngest denizens of the wild awaken to a realm of hidden dangers and silent hunters. For nocturnal baby animals, night is both a cloak and a crucible, a time when every sense is sharpened and instincts are put to the ultimate test. Beneath the cover of darkness, a litter of fox cubs emerges from their den. Their oversized ears catch the faintest rustle in the grass, while their noses twitch, learning to map the world by scent alone. Night offers them shelter from the eyes of diurnal predators, but new threats lurk. Owls glide on silent wings, their vision adapted to pierce the gloom, seeking the unguarded and the unwary. In the high branches, a baby bush baby clings to its mother's fur, its enormous eyes reflecting the moonlight. These wide, unblinking eyes gather every scrap of starlight, allowing the tiny primate to leap from branch to branch with astonishing precision. Below, a young pangolin ventures out, its armored scales a shield against prowling jackals, while it relies on a keen sense of smell to find ants beneath the earth. Predators, too, are shaped by the night. A leopard cub shadows its mother, learning to melt into the shadows, every step a lesson in patience and silence. Nearby, a hyena pup listens for distant calls, its sensitive ears guiding it through the darkness. But for the smallest and most vulnerable, survival means more than hiding. It requires innovation. Baby frogs, newly hatched, synchronize their movements to confuse snakes and bats. Firefly larvae use faint glows to warn would-be predators that they are unpalatable. In the night, even the most fragile lives find ways to endure. Every shadow holds a story, every rustle a heartbeat. In the absence of human eyes, the wild night belongs to those who have mastered its secrets. Here, survival is an art passed from one generation to the next, painted in moonlight and woven with instinct. The night may be fraught with peril, but for the young of the wild, it is also a playground of possibility, a stage where courage, adaptation, and hope shine brightest before the dawn. Beneath the shimmering surface of rivers, lakes, and oceans lies a world untouched by human presence. Here, in the cool embrace of the water, the youngest inhabitants of the aquatic realm begin their extraordinary journeys. This is the underwater nursery, a place where life starts small, fragile, and full of promise. In the gentle current of a freshwater stream, a cloud of tiny fish fry drifts among swaying reeds. Their silver bodies catch the dappled sunlight above, moving as one to confuse lurking predators. Every flick of a tail is a lesson in survival, every ripple a signal of danger or opportunity. Close by, a brood of baby turtles scrambles through tangled roots, their soft shells offering little protection from prowling catfish and stealthy water snakes. Each hatchling must rely on instinct, speed, and luck to make it through their perilous first days. Deep in the shadowy kelp forests, sea otter pups float on their mothers' chests, cocooned in warmth and safety. Their playful squeaks echo through the water, but danger is never far. Sleek barracudas patrol the edge of the forest, their eyes sharp for any sign of weakness. In these hidden groves, octopus hatchlings unfurl their delicate arms, learning to change color and shape to vanish from sight. Their world is one of constant transformation, where blending in can mean the difference between life and death. Out in the open ocean, baby dolphins glide in the slipstream of their mothers, mimicking every movement, learning to navigate a world filled with swift sharks and cunning orcas. The lessons are endless: how to hunt, when to hide, and how to communicate through clicks and whistles that echo across the vast blue. Below, on the sandy seafloor, a nest of stingray pups wriggles free from their eggs, instinctively burying themselves beneath a veil of sand. Overhead, schools of young squid pulse through the water, scattering ink clouds to confound hungry predators. In the underwater world, every baby animal is both hunter and hunted. Their lives unfold in silence and secrecy, shaped by currents and tides, watched over only by the ancient rhythms of the sea. No human eyes intrude here. The drama belongs solely to the creatures who call these depths home. In this realm of liquid light and perpetual motion, survival is a dance, a ballet of adaptation, courage, and evolution. Each tiny swimmer, each newborn breath adds a new verse to the eternal song of the wild. And as the sun's rays fade into the blue, the underwater nursery continues, hidden, fragile, and full of hope for the next generation. High above the earth, where the air is thin and the clouds drift like silent sentinels, a different kind of nursery exists, This is the realm of the fledgling, the young birds who must master the skies or perish. Their lives are a testament to the fragility and resilience of nature, unfolding in the vast expanse of the heavens. In the crook of a towering oak, a nest of baby robins chirps hungrily, their beaks wide open, waiting for the return of their tireless parents. Each worm and insect delivered is a lifeline, a small victory in their struggle to grow strong. Yet the shadows of hawks and falcons loom large, their keen eyes ever watchful for an easy meal. Every rustle of leaves, every distant cry is a signal to stay hidden, to remain silent. Across the open grasslands, a family of kestrels teaches their young the art of the hunt. The fledglings take to the air, their wings unsteady, hearts pounding with the thrill and terror of their first flight. Below, the ground teems with life, mice, insects and lizards, all potential prey. But the sky is also a battlefield, where other raptors patrol, ready to snatch away the unwary. The fledglings must learn quickly, their survival dependent on their ability to dive, soar, and strike with precision. In the dense canopy of a tropical rainforest, the vibrant feathers of parrot chicks stand out against the green. Their squawks fill the air as they practice their first clumsy flights from branch to branch. But danger lurks even here. Tree-dwelling snakes and predatory birds silently stalk the young, their movements nearly invisible in the dappled light. The chicks' bright colours, once a beacon of life, now make them targets. They must learn the intricate dance of camouflage and evasion, blending in with the foliage to avoid becoming a meal. On the cliffs overlooking the sea, puffin chicks peer out from their burrows, the salty wind ruffling their downy feathers. Their parents glide effortlessly over the waves, returning with beaks full of fish. But the journey from nest to sea is fraught with peril. Gulls and skuas circle overhead, ready to snatch the young flyers before they reach the safety of the ocean. Each puffin chick must summon the courage to leap, to trust in their wings and the promise of the open water. In the arid desert, the sun blazes down on a nest of baby eagles, their eyes sharp against the harsh glare. Their parents soar high, scanning the sands for signs of life. The young eagles spread their wings, feeling the thermals lift them, guiding them into the sky. Below, the land is a tapestry of shadows and light, where every movement could signal prey or predator. The eagles must learn the patience of the hunt, the precision of the dive, and the strength to fend off rivals. In these high places where the sky meets the earth, the young bird's journey is one of constant vigilance and unyielding courage. They are born into a world that demands they rise above, that they conquer the air or fall to the ground. Each flight, each daring escape, adds a new chapter to the timeless saga of survival. As the sun sets, casting long shadows across the land, the fledglings settle into their nests, their hearts still racing from the day's adventures. The sky darkens, but their spirits remain undimmed, ready to face another day in the skies of peril. For in the heavens, as on the earth, the dance of life continues, an eternal ballet of wings, wind, and the will to survive. In the wild, survival often depends not on strength or speed, but on the ability to remain unseen. Across continents and climates, baby animals are born into a world where the art of disguise is their first, and sometimes only, line of defense. Beneath the leafy undergrowth, a fawn lies motionless. Its dappled coat blends perfectly with the mottled sunlight and shadows, rendering it invisible to prowling predators. The mother is nowhere in sight, but her absence is a lesson. Stillness and camouflage are the fawn's shield, protecting it until it is strong enough to run. On the forest floor, a clutch of stick insect nymphs sways gently in the breeze. Their slender bodies, indistinguishable from the twigs around them, fool even the sharpest-eyed birds. Every movement is calculated, every pause a potential reprieve from hungry beaks. In the shallow waters of a pond, tadpoles drift among the reeds. Some are nearly transparent, their tiny forms reflecting the colours and patterns of the pebbles below. This natural mimicry allows them to vanish from view, escaping the gaze of lurking fish and amphibians. High in the rainforest canopy, young leaf-tailed geckos cling to rough bark. Their flattened bodies and intricate patterns mirror the lichen and moss, making them nearly impossible to spot. Predators searching for an easy meal pass by, unaware that life clings silently to the tree just inches away. Among the grasses of the savannah, baby ground-nesting birds freeze at the slightest hint of danger. Their downy feathers match the dry stalks, creating the illusion of empty earth. Only the faintest flicker of an eye betrays their presence. Even the ocean has its masters of mimicry. Tiny octopus hatchlings pulse with shifting colors, imitating the sand, rocks, or even venomous sea creatures. Each transformation is a silent plea for safety, a delicate dance between predator and prey. In this world without witness or intervention, camouflage and mimicry are ancient strategies, evolved through countless generations. For these young animals, blending in is not just a skill, it is a necessity, a daily test that determines who thrives and who vanishes. As dusk settles and the wild world hushes, the hidden lives of these creatures continue, unseen, unheralded, but vital. In their silent struggle, the art of disguise endures, an invisible thread woven through the fabric of survival. Across the vast landscapes of our planet, a timeless drama unfolds. As seasons shift and the call of survival beckons, countless baby animals embark on migratory journeys, epic odysseys that will determine their fate. On the boundless plains of the Serengeti, wildebeest calves gather in trembling herds. Barely weeks old, their legs are still unsteady, yet instinct urges them forward. The great migration has begun. Side by side with their mothers, they face peril at every step. Rivers swollen by recent rains become gauntlets, where crocodiles lie in silent ambush beneath the surface. A single misstep, a stumble, a pause, can mean the difference between life and loss. High in the sky, thousands of fledgling Arctic terns take their first flight, tracing invisible routes from polar ice to distant continents. Their journey spans oceans and storms. Many will never return, claimed by relentless winds or sharp-eyed predators soaring above the waves. In the forests, baby monarch butterflies emerge from their chrysalises, their wings fragile and new. Driven by a genetic memory, they join a shimmering cloud of orange and black, beginning a migration that will carry them across countries and generations. Along their route, birds and insects lie in wait, turning the journey into a race against time and hunger. On the tundra, caribou calves press close to their mothers, crossing icy rivers and open valleys. Wolves shadow the herd, their eyes fixed on the smallest and slowest. Each day brings new obstacles, swollen crossings, sudden storms, and the ever-present threat of hungry jaws. In these odysseys, there are no guides, no maps, or second chances. The young learn quickly, guided by ancient instincts and the watchful presence of their kin. For every step forward, there is risk. For every mile conquered, a new challenge. But in the great migrations of the wild, every hardship faced by the young is a lesson in resilience. As dusk falls and the world quiets, the journey continues, undaunted, unbroken, a testament to the will to survive. In this endless march, the future of each species is carried on small, determined shoulders, moving ever onward toward hope. In the farthest corners of our planet, life begins against impossible odds. Here, in the world's most unforgiving environments, baby animals are born not just to survive, but to defy the elements themselves. Beneath the relentless sun of the desert, a newborn fennec fox emerges from its burrow. Its oversized ears, still soft, will soon help it hear the faintest rustle of prey beneath the sand. Water is a rare treasure. The kit learns to seek out the morning dew, while its mother teaches it the secrets of the shifting dunes, where to hide, when to hunt, how to endure when the world offers little but heat and thirst. Thousands of miles north, in the frozen silence of the Arctic, polar bear cubs greet their first sunrise. Their world is a landscape of blinding white, where food is scarce and the cold is merciless. Huddled close to their mother, the cubs learn to navigate the ice, taking their first clumsy steps on paws built for snow. Every lesson is a matter of survival. The hunt for seals beneath the ice, the crossing of treacherous floes. Each moment is a fight against hunger and the freezing wind. Deep within the emerald shadows of the rainforest, another drama unfolds. A newborn sloth clings tightly to its mother's fur, high above the forest floor. The air is thick and humid, heavy with the calls of unseen creatures. Predators lurk in the branches and on the ground below. Here, survival depends on silence and stillness. The baby sloth learns to blend into the canopy, moving only when shadows hide its gentle form. In this green labyrinth, patience is the greatest protection. Across deserts, Arctic wastes, and tangled jungles, the first days of life are a trial by nature. There are no easy beginnings, but in every corner of the wild, these fragile newborns possess the resilience of their ancestors, a quiet strength honed by generations. In the harshest realms on Earth, the struggle to survive is never-ending. Yet even here, hope endures, carried in the small, determined steps of the next generation, born to extremes. In the heart of the wild, survival is not a solitary journey. For many newborns, safety lies in the bonds of family and the strength of the group. Across sprawling savannas, dense forests, and open plains, animal families unite in remarkable displays of cooperation, each member playing a vital role in the defense of their young. On the African plains, a newborn zebra takes its first shaky steps among a sea of stripes. Here, the herd is more than a collection of individuals. It is a living shield. Mothers, aunts, and older siblings form a protective circle, their bodies creating a barrier against prowling predators. Each set of eyes scans the horizon. Every ear twitches at the faintest sound. When danger approaches, the herd moves as one, confusion and numbers overwhelming even the most cunning hunter. In this unity, the youngest gain precious time to learn the art of escape. Deep within the termite mounds of the savannah, a family of meerkats stands guard. Sentinels perch atop sandy towers, scanning for eagles and jackals. Below, pups tumble and play, safe under the watchful gaze of their elders. When a warning call pierces the air, the group springs into action. Adults rush to scoop up the young, hustling them underground in a coordinated retreat. Here, every member is a guardian, and survival is a shared responsibility. In the tangled branches of the rainforest, a troop of capuchin monkeys weaves through the canopy. Mothers cradle their infants, while older siblings and cousins form a living chain, linking arms and tails to steady the group during treacherous crossings. When a shadow glides overhead, alarm calls ripple through the leaves. Instantly, the troop clusters together. Adults on the outside, babies tucked safely in the center. Their unity turns vulnerability into strength. Even beneath the waves, family means protection. A pod of dolphins swims in tight formation, calves nestled at their mother's sides. When a shark draws near, the adults form a defensive ring, chattering and slapping their tails to drive the predator away. Through synchronized movement and constant communication, the pod becomes an unbreakable wall. In every corner of the animal kingdom, it is the bonds of family and the strategies of the group that give the youngest a fighting chance. Alone, a newborn is fragile. Together, they are formidable. These alliances, woven through generations, are nature's most powerful defense, ensuring that life's journey continues, even in the wildest of worlds. The first days of life in the wild are a race against time and fate. From the moment a newborn draws its first breath, it enters a world teeming with unseen dangers. With no human presence to intervene, the law of nature reigns, and survival depends on instinct, luck, and the watchful eyes of others. On the open savannah, a newborn wildebeest struggles to stand, legs trembling beneath the weight of a world it barely understands. The herd grazes nearby, but the scent of birth drifts on the wind, drawing in hungry hyenas and patient jackals. Each minute spent learning to walk is a minute exposed. The mother nudges her calf, urging it to move, knowing that only speed and the safety of numbers can shield her young from snapping jaws. In the shadows of a dense bamboo thicket, a tiny panda cub, blind and helpless, nestles against its mother's warmth. The forest is alive with sounds. The distant call of a golden eagle, the rustle of a lurking leopard. For days the mother rarely leaves, her massive frame a living fortress. Yet even the thickest fur cannot muffle the ever-present threat, and each whimper is a beacon in the dark. High in a stony crevice, a clutch of peregrine falcon chicks huddle together. Their downy bodies quake as a shadow passes overhead. A marauding raven circles, seeking an easy meal. The chicks are defenseless, relying on their parents' aerial vigilance. With a piercing cry, the mother falcon swoops in, talons extended, a dramatic dance of life and death above the cliffs. Beneath the water's surface, a sea turtle hatchling bursts from its egg, joining dozens of siblings in a frantic scramble toward the moonlit surf. The sand is alive with danger. Ghost crabs skitter and seabirds swoop. Only a few will reach the waves where new threats await. For these tiny voyagers, every second is a test, every step a gamble. And in the heart of the jungle, a newborn orangutan clings to its mother's chest as she swings through the canopy. Below, a clouded leopard prowls, eyes fixed on the treetops. The mother's grip tightens, her gaze never wavering. Each leap is a calculated risk, each pause a moment of vulnerability. In every habitat, the first days are a gauntlet, where innocence meets adversity, and the smallest lives must prove their resilience. For these newborns, the journey has just begun. The wild is indifferent, yet within its dangers lies the spark of survival, igniting the courage to face another dawn. In the heart of the wilderness, survival is not just a matter of strength or speed, it is also a matter of being heard and understood. For newborn animals, sound is a lifeline, a secret language woven into the fabric of life, carrying messages of hope, warning, and belonging. On the open plains, a zebra foal utters its first soft whinnies. These gentle calls, barely more than whispers, are a beacon for its mother, guiding her through the chaos of the herd. The mother responds with a low, rolling nicker, a private code that only her foal can truly recognize. In a world where confusion spells danger, this bond of sound is an unbreakable thread. Deep in the dense forest, a baby chimpanzee clings to its mother's fur. Each time the troop moves, the infant chirps, a high-pitched note that means, "I am here." The matriarch answers with a quiet grunt, a promise of safety. Above, the canopy is alive with calls and responses, a symphony of survival that keeps the group united against lurking predators. Beneath the waves, a dolphin calf learns to whistle. Its unique signature call is a name, a sonic fingerprint in the vast blue. The mother echoes back, her clicks and squeaks cutting through the murky water. Even when separated by distance, their voices find each other, reassurance in the shifting currents. In the arid heat of the savannah, a lion cub mews softly from the cover of tall grass. The pride's matriarch rumbles a low growl, warning of nearby danger. The cubs freeze, instinctively obeying the command woven into the sound. In these moments, silence can be as powerful as any roar. High on a cliff, a nest of albatross chicks emits faint, rhythmic peeps. The returning parent answers with a distinct call, guiding the hungry mouths through a sea of lookalikes. Each note, each tone, is a key to recognition and reunion. From the tiniest froglet to the mightiest elephant calf, sound is the first language of survival. In the absence of hands or tools, it is through calls, cries, and songs that the youngest lives navigate a world of uncertainty. These voices, fragile yet fierce, echo across the wild, carrying the promise of another day. Beneath the leaves and within the shadows, a hidden world stirs, one ruled by the smallest yet most numerous creatures on earth. Here, in the microcosm of the insect nursery, survival is a relentless contest, where every moment is a test of cunning and adaptation. A cluster of ant larvae wriggles deep within their subterranean fortress. Above them, worker ants patrol tirelessly, warding off marauding beetles and hungry spiders. The scent trails they lay down are invisible threads, an unspoken code, guiding guardians to any sign of intrusion. For these defenseless young, safety lies in numbers and in the vigilance of their colony. Across a dew-drenched meadow, a mantis nymph, no bigger than a blade of grass, emerges from its egg case. Instinct drives it to freeze, blending seamlessly into the emerald chaos. Predatory wasps scour the stems, seeking out the weak and unwary. The nymph's only hope: remain unseen or become a meal before its first molt. Nearby, a ladybird larva embarks on a perilous journey across a leaf. Aphids abound, but so do dangers. Parasitic wasps hover, ready to inject their eggs into any exposed larva. The ladybird's bristled armor offers scant protection, and every bite of food is a gamble between growth and being discovered. In stiller waters, mosquito larvae dangle beneath the surface, siphoning air. Dragonfly nymphs, silent hunters, glide below. With lightning speed, they strike. One moment, a sibling floats. The next, it vanishes, claimed by jaws that show no mercy. Above ground, in the bark's crevices, a butterfly caterpillar inches forward. Its vibrant colors warn of hidden toxins, but for the hungry birds that patrol the branches, curiosity can be fatal. Some caterpillars mimic the appearance of snakes or bird droppings, illusions that grant precious seconds to escape. In this realm, every hatchling faces impossible odds. Some will grow, shed skins, and ascend as adults. Others will vanish, absorbed into the cycle of life. There are no parents to comfort, no voices to call for help, only instinct, disguise, and the never-ending dance between predator and prey. In the insect nursery, survival belongs to the bold, the hidden, and the lucky. Here, the greatest dramas unfold on the smallest scale, shaping the wild in ways few ever see.